I want to thank all of you for all the time that you guys put in this year from the beginning of, I guess it was October. The basketball season is a long season. It's really an extended season because we start off in sometimes October and then it goes into February. I'd like to preface though the night ceremony by thanking all those people who made this night possible and made this season possible. To my right, Coach Ernie Washington. And to his right, our program assistant, Greg Cole. Ernie and Greg were there, you know, like me, like every single day, working hard and you know, just trying to teach you guys a bunch of life lessons and how to teach and how to play basketball the right way. And you guys improved dramatically throughout the year. Secondly, I'd like to thank our booster club. Danielle and Mike DiCosenso Sr., tremendous job. And you know, night in and night out, when we were playing basketball, you guys didn't know that Mike was behind the scenes with his wife. They were out there selling stuff, and I want to thank them because you know, the funds to pay for this dinner tonight came from his hard work and their hard work. So thank you so much. I'm gonna miss Mike and Danielle, of course, and of course our president, our co-president, Trish Hins, who again, together with her significant other Eric, do a tremendous job year in and year out. You guys don't realize it, but we had Danny for 4 years, and Trish was there behind the scenes as well. Okay, so thank you so much, Trish. I would also like to thank Gary Sullivan, who was there for the. He was the one that emceed the game against the teachers versus the cops, and he was there behind the scenes again supporting them throughout the year. I think Gary, I think he was there at most of the home games. I know he missed this game because he was in somewhere in Germany doing something. Yeah, and so thank you, Gary. I really appreciate it. And of course, you know, one of the, you know, this guy's been here for 4 years, you know, with his son, and he's probably filmed every JV and varsity game for the past 4 years. And thank you, Lisette, for letting Frank, you know, out of the house, you know, and doing Frank. Thank you so much. Tremendous. At the end of the night, you're going to see he put a little video vignette together about the season, and he does a tremendous job, so thank you, Frank. And lastly, I want to thank Eduardo Ochiro and his wife. Thank you so much for this year. They provided the dinner, the pre-section of dinner. Thank you so much. And of course, my two captains, Mike DiCosenso Jr. and Alec Pineda. They were tremendous this year. You know, it's difficult. You know, it's a long season, and I don't believe that they ever missed a practice this year. I don't think Mike missed a practice at all, and we must have had like 60 practices. That's a lot. And Alec, I don't think Alec, maybe Alec missed one practice the whole year. So they set the tone. So thank you so much. Yeah. And Ernie just said he doesn't recall you guys missing JV practice, which is really, you know, amazing that you guys were there every day. And of course, I want to thank the rest of my team, the varsity team and the JV team, for just always being there, supportive. I see the JV players in school, they were always very supportive, you know, despite, you know, the outcome, win or lose games, they always maintain a positive attitude in school, and they never let it hamper whatever result the game was, and my varsity team. You guys were just, a pleasure to coach this year, and I want to thank all of you guys. Thank you. Okay, so at this time, what we'd like to do is bring up. We want to give you guys your certificates, and then there's some special awards that we'd like to give out. Okay, so. I'll try to be brief, and I just say a few things about each guy. This first guy is really a tremendous soccer player, and he was nice enough to, come out for the team this year. He's been telling me all along since I had him in freshman year that he can play basketball. And he came out this year, and guess what? He really can play basketball. He's a pretty good basketball player, in addition to being a really good soccer player. I wish we had him for the entire year, but he did improve dramatically, and it was my pleasure to coach Christian Antunes. Most of my varsity team knows that I also taught his mom Janoris. So Janoris Rivas, that was my boy. This next young man, I've known him since he was probably like 10, 11 years old. He used to go to my basketball clinics at Brook, and he's better known for playing the sax at school and in the bands, but he's a tremendous academic student, and he was a tremendous basketball player. He's a tough kid, I tell you. I mean, he scored tons of points against like some of the better teams. Okay, and if you're watching this game, you can see he didn't back down from Fox Lane, and that is Orhan Esti. This next young man, he had a little bit of an up and down season, and that's typical of certain players where they go up and down, and so he started up, in the starting lineup, and then I had to take him out of the starting lineup, and then at the end, he stepped up for us. And if you watched any part of this game, you know that he stepped up, and I expect great things from him next year. And I just love coaching him. He never complains. Whether he started or he didn't start, this young man never complained at all to me. And it's a mark on his character that he just comes to play. And again, never missed basketball practices at all throughout the entire season. I loved coaching him. Ryan Gagnon. Soccer players. What am I going to do with all these soccer players, right? They should be playing a little bit more basketball. This next young man is probably one of the most athletic kids that we have in the program, and I'm sure he's a tremendous soccer player. Okay, there's a reason why they call him Vinicus Jr. Okay, and it's because this young man can play. I've seen him play soccer. And if he just played a little bit more basketball, I'm sure he'd be a tremendous basketball player as well. And we the coaching staff, we always talk about this young man. If he played a little bit more basketball, boy, he would be tremendous. And that's Ramal Morgan Jr. Greg and I, we think alike sometimes. Okay. El próximo muchacho que va a venir aquí fue un muchacho que vino como el viento que vino de un lugar que nadie lo conocía a él. This next young man came like the wind, right? Some places that nobody knew where he came from, and he certainly set the team on fire and led by example. El muchacho este chico vino al equipo y le enseñó al equipo cómo se juega, con fuego, con pasión, con corazón y increíblemente todos los niños en el equipo, todos los jugadores le dieron un abrazo enseguida. They embraced him. This kid can play. I mean, this kid can play, and he was a pleasure to coach. The only time that he missed practices was because he had a bad back, right? He missed the Austin game, and then because of the situation with the referee. But he's a tremendous talent, and we want to wish him he has a lot of upside, this young man, and we all know who he is. It's Guillermo Zavala. Okay, soccer players, they're killing me. Okay, these soccer players, they kill me. But they're athletic, and thank God. Without the soccer players, we would not have had a team. Starting with Alec and finishing off with this young man right here. What can I say? This young man wanted to play basketball for the longest. Last year he came out and he was going to be on the team, and there were certain circumstances at home, and junior year can be difficult for some kids, and so he decided not to come out. This year he came out, and I said, "Are you serious about coming out?" And he said, "Yes, coach, I'm coming out this year." And he meant what he said. He's a man of his word. We totally loved having him on the team this year. His maturity, his leadership, his toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness. He may not be, the most skilled basketball player, but he's got this. He's got heart, and you can't take this away from him. Okay. He's also pretty quick on the floor too, and tough. He won't go down. And he made some big shots. You guys don't know this, but when this young man would step outside and hit like a three, it opened it up for other people to go in. Okay, just that's the importance of making like a three-point shot. And we're so happy that he came out this year, his senior year, because we really wouldn't have had to, we wouldn't have to know him the way we do. And he's so mature. He's definitely a leader, and that's Ty Ochiro. Football players. Football players. Okay. So this next young man, we all know and love him, and he's a tremendous football player, but he's a pretty good basketball player as well. And last year he suffered through some injuries, and he made, he was going to be a starter this year, and of course, unfortunately, he suffered a very grave and season-ending injury, which I expect will fully heal and allow him to play football at the next level. At WestCon, Greg's alma mater. What can I say? This young man and I have a special relationship. We text each other like on a regular basis. Even when he's on vacation, he'll be in the Bahamas and he's texting me. And I know he wanted to play basketball in the worst way. It really hurt me when he got hurt. Because he's a kid that, for Ernie, he worked so hard as a freshman and sophomore. And last year he was hurt with the hamstring, and he got hurt this year. And that's George Velasquez.
You gotta go.
Sorry for getting emotional there. But, I mean, he's...
Young pups.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting toward the end here, and baseball players. You know, this young man has been, you know, a young man that I had in class. He's a really good baseball player. You know, plays a real good first base, can hit, and will play baseball at the next level, like George would be playing football. And like I said, we have a very special relationship because I had him in class. And when I first saw this young man playing for Ernie back when he was a freshman, I said, man, I don't know if he's ever going to play varsity basketball. I just, you know, it was like, you really can't see it, you know. And out of that group that Ernie had, this young man just keep getting better and better. And then it's just in his nature not to quit. Okay, he's not a quitter. He's, you know, he works hard, and he has a really nice attitude, and, you know, comes to practice. Like I said, never misses practice. This young man never misses practice. Probably there's times when mom and dad probably want to keep him home because he's not feeling well, and he still comes to practice. And again, we have a special relationship where we text on a regular basis, and I want to wish him the very best at the next level. And that's my captain, Michael DiCredenzo. The last player that's here is a soccer player. Okay. He's a soccer player, but he's one hell of a basketball player as well. And he's my little Cubanito. And again, I had him as a freshman in class, and my daughter Lauren had him in the middle school in her class. And you know, I remember driving to and from Blind Brook when I coached at Blind Brook all those years, and I would always see this little blind kid walking from the middle school to that little enclave there, that I forgot what it's called, that little, what's the
Avon Circle.
Avon Circle. I used to always see him. He was always by himself, and I was like, boy, that kid, he stood out, right? Because he had that little blondie hair, and you can see him. And little did I know that he was Lisette Villato's son, and I knew Lisette when she was basically born in Yonkers, because I good friends with her dad, Tony, and you know, so I was pleasantly surprised when I had him in class, and we got him through, right, Alec? We got him through, and so Alec, you know, I didn't realize he was that good of a soccer player until I went to watch some of the soccer games, and I said, wow, he's really talented. And then I can still remember watching him play for Ernie, you know, dribbling around, a lot of dribble, right, a lot of dribble. And, you know, he was very thin, and he would get hit pretty hard. And he was short. He was like 5'4", 5'5", and then boom. He comes in 11th grade, he's nearly 6 feet tall, he's really talented, and last year had a tremendous year, And you know, it's difficult to get, you know, these two guys next to me know what I'm talking about because they were the leading scorers at Sleepy Hollow, number 1 and number 2. They scored well over 1,000 points, but it's not easy. Okay, they played they played 4 or 5 years of varsity basketball.
3 years, man.
3 years. 3 years. And in 2 years, Alex scored more than 600 points, which is a tribute to him. And this young man, I'm gonna miss him so much. He's like a son to me, Alec Pineda.
That's that drip like there. Oh my God.
He just forgot his certificate, which I'm not surprised because he forgot his T-shirt, he forgets his uniform, he forgets his sneakers, he forgets his jacket, and then texts me to see if I can call Coach Washington to see if Coach Washington found his jersey. So you got your certificate.
It's only right. It's only right.
Okay, very good. Okay, I just, we have some special awards for the varsity team. And this year we got a little bit different. We, instead of getting the plaque, we got like a little, what do we call that, Mike? It's like a crystal that you put like the lighting in it, and it's like a stand, and it's really nice, okay? And it's really something different than we normally get, okay? So let's.
It wasn't what I thought it was. It is what it is.
Okay. Every year we, it's been a tradition that since I've been here as a coach that we always give out 3 special awards, and it's the most improved, the hardest worker, and the MVP. And this award is for the most improved, and it was difficult because there's several kids who have improved dramatically, but in my estimation and in my heart, I really felt that this young man was very deserving of this award from the time that he came in as a freshman to the point where he was knocking down threes against Horace Greeley at their court and had a great game against Fox Lane, not just because he scored, but because he just handled pressure so well, and that's the most improved award goes to Mike DiCrescenzo.
I concur with that.
Yeah. Mike has his little thing at home. And the next award is for the hardest worker. And the hardest worker is someone that is nonstop, keeps getting, working to get better. This young man in the off season played AAU basketball because he wanted to get better. He was like the little Energizer bunny rabbit that in practice just is nonstop. Like I call him out all the time because I'm talking to the team, and the JV knows because they've seen me in action. Okay, and he's out there shooting the ball while I'm talking, and then he's even had to do push-ups. Right before sectional play because he was doing it, but he definitely, everyone we could see that he's a really good athlete, tremendous soccer player, but he's also a tremendous basketball player, and that's because of his hard work, and that is Alec Pineda.
Yeah, that goes Alec. That goes. It's a little skip. You got part one. And lights up. Skip.
Yeah, Alec would Frank would send me videos of Alec playing at LA Fitness at 11 o'clock at night. I was like, what is he doing at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night at LA Fitness? I need him in bed.
I need him in bed.
And then, okay, so the MVP. Who is that, JV? Who's the MVP? Okay, so Guillermo, look, later on this month, Guillermo is going to go with me to the all-section dinner where he's going to get his special award. And what can I say? Guillermo scored 484 points. 408, put that into perspective. 484 points in 19 games to average 25.47 points a game. He is the leading scorer in Section 1. Did you guys know he was the leading scorer in Section 1? Yeah, okay. Mike DiPresenzo Sr. and Frank Pineda were after me. They said, "Manny, you got to get those points in because Alec and Guillermo, they have a lot of points, and I didn't even know, how to do that." And then I emailed somebody that they told me to email, and bingo, Guillermo, 25.47 a game. But the points are not important. It's it's the other variables that he brings, the other factors that he brings, his heart, his passion. I know that sometimes he looks like he's playing selfish, but as a coach, when you have a talent like that, there's times when you want him to take the shots. That's what it is. And guys, and Lisa, you know this to be true. Guys, what was the most meaningful game for us to win this year? What was the most meaningful game for us? To beat who? Who did we beat? Blind Brian. I spoke to Mike DiPresenzo Sr. before the game. He said, "Manny, if you win tonight's game," he goes, "you could have gone 0-100 for your whole career here. This is going to make a game." And I was like, "You're right." And Guillermo, he pulled it out for me, and the kids know. Did I dance for you guys in the locker room, guys, at LA? Okay, so that made my game. But he's much more than that, obviously, and there's going to be good things coming his way, and that's the MVP is Guillermo. Okay. Later on, when this year, in addition to making the all-conference team, Guillermo also made all-league, obviously, and Alec Pineda also made the all-league team. So they'll be getting their special, the school will issue that plaque. We don't have it, obviously. That's going to be down the road when they have the special sports awards. Okay, so again, thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, Ernie?
I'd just like to give a round. We gave a round of applause to everyone, the boosters, the staff, the players. I'd just like to give a round of applause to Coach Martinez, the head of the program. And also, I would like to second his sentiments and thank the boosters and the parents for all your support this season. It really meant a lot to us and the guys as well. I gotta address the varsity guys because a lot like last year's class with Tyler and Danny, these guys started out with me, from Mikey to Alec, the seniors more so too. I want to speak to you guys. The rest of you guys, I'll still see you guys, but to George, Alec, Mikey, Ty, I know this is your first year in the program, but I feel like you played varsity, JV with me. That's the type of connection and the way that you carried yourself. I feel like you've been with this program the whole time, so I include you in that group. And you guys are a special group of guys, right? From Alec being a little worm, wanting to play all the time, but continuing to play, getting better and better, and really getting to showcase that. That was something really good to watch. Mikey, from JV, being the smallest guy on the court, but still playing the 5 position and never complaining, just going out and doing whatever I asked you to do to your full ability. It meant a lot, and then to see it come full circle, and then you finish this season in the same position, it says a lot, man. And that's a good quality and a characteristic to have, and I want you to keep that with you moving forward and whatever you do. All right, Georgie, my guy. A lot of you guys may not know Georgie's like the enforcer in the program, right? So we really did miss him a lot, and I kind of shared Manny's emotion with him suffering an injury because I knew he put in a lot of work from JV to varsity, and this was really his time to shine, and you didn't really get a chance to do that, so it really hurt, but it's been an honor to coach you, and you're a great young man, and I wish you all the best in the future at WestCon. I know where that is, so I'm hopefully going to come up and try to catch a game. And Ty, like I said, you're included in that, so thank you guys for allowing me to be you guys' coach. Now to my JV guys, there's a few more of us than varsity, so I can't go into deep stories about all you guys, but I'll tell a small story about each of you and then call you guys up to get your certificates. All right? But let me not say, I told you guys the last game of the season, and I just want to echo those sentiments, how much of an honor it was to coach you guys this year. I know I say it a lot, but I say it because I mean it. And I think you guys know by spending the whole year with me, I don't just say things to say it. When I say something, I really mean it. And from the first guy to the 15, we started out with 15. I think we ended up with maybe 12 or 13. But everyone that was a part of the program, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We went through a lot, not having practice time, some lopsided losses, just a lot of obstacles. And you guys just kept coming, kept fighting. And I think towards the end of the season, you guys improved. And not only did I see it, I told you guys there were people around the program that was approaching us and also letting us know how much we improved. And I still got to stress that we're not done. We got to keep going, right? So we talked about playing basketball still in the spring and in the fall. You guys got to keep doing that. I got a few homework assignments from Sean, Angel. The rest of you guys, I need you guys to let me know if you want me to send you some drills to work on in the off season so you can, you too, Akidi? Okay, my boy Baboni. I'll do that. Just send me a message on Sports U, and I'll send you some drills that you can work on in the off season so you come back better players next year. But again, I truly thank you guys for the work that you put in. Coach, we kind of did this in tandem all season. Where I spoke, you spoke. You got anything you want to say to the kids?
I'll do like a
Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to call you guys up to accept your certificates. This guy is a special guy. He's been with the program for 2 years, but he's been with the program as our team manager, right? He came out for the team last year. He didn't make the initial team, but I liked what I saw in him, his dedication, the hard work that he was putting in. So when I chose the final roster, I gave him the option to come on as the team manager. What did that entail? He was allowed to practice with us, participate in everything that the team did, but he just wasn't guaranteed playing time. I never guaranteed him playing time. But by the end of the season, he was getting in games, and he played in quite a few games and quite a bit of minutes. And then he tried out for varsity this year. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the varsity team, but I appreciated what he did last year, and I wanted him to still be a part of the program. So I extended the invitations for him to be the team manager again, and he did that. And he came in and he did the same thing that he did last year, and it really means a lot, because you could have, decided not to come back to the program and done whatever else you wanted to do, but you chose to come back and be with us, and I'm really appreciative of that. So come up and get your certificate. Nick, you go ahead. This next guy is new to the program. This was his first year with JV. He showed a lot of growth from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. There were countless games where he would get on the court and he would do a move that I didn't know that he had in his repertoire. So those were welcome surprises. Never complained about anything. Whatever we asked him to do, he did. And I just hope that he continues to work on his game. He has very nice size, and I think that he has the potential to be a really good basketball player if that's something that he really wants to do. Come up, Daniel Ebo. Daniel Ebo. This next guy is a new player in the program this year. He caught my eye going back to open gym. He showed some flashes. I could recall him playing defense on Alec and giving him a tough challenge. So he didn't catch my eye because he was shooting 3-pointers or throwing no-look passes or anything like that. It was the defense that he was playing. And then fast forward, he was playing against Wellington, and he really made it hard for Wellington. So I said, that's someone that really needs to be on the team. Then he stayed on the team, and then he showed that he has some offensive ability, toughness, leadership, and to piggyback off of what Coach said, he's a hell of a baseball player out here as well. So I'm looking to catch that out. That's Brian Sachs. Call him Sachs. This next gentleman is also his first year in the program. Another characteristic that Coach spoke about is being available at practice. The JV guys know that was a challenge with some of us, right? But then we had other guys that were there every day. No excuses, they were there ready to go. And this guy was one of the guys that was there every day until maybe like last week of practice he missed one. So I would wish that he could have, had perfect attendance through the year, but stuff happens and I understand that. Another huge factor with him is he improved throughout the season. He started off slow. He wasn't in the starting lineup, but by the end of the season, he was in the starting lineup. In that last game, he played a huge role for us. I think he hit maybe 4 threes. I like to give my guys nicknames, so he has one of the best nicknames on the team, I think. We call him Barboni. That's Wakini Valero. That was.
He's also a very nice kid.
Yeah. I was going to say. This next gentleman, what can I say about him? So similar to Nick, he tried out for the program. He caught my eye. He showed a lot of signs, but I wasn't sure that he was ready for the team this year. But like Nick, I extended the opportunity for him to be the team manager, and I told him the same thing I told Nick. He would come to practice. You come to practice. You'll participate in all the activities, but that doesn't guarantee you playing time. You have to earn that. And a lot like Nick, he came to every practice that he could. He explained to me that he has some stuff where he couldn't make Friday practices, but other than that, he was there every day, working hard. He got a lot better, and by the end of the season, he was able to play a few minutes in a few games as well. So that was great to see. I hope he comes back out for the team next year. He has a bit of a head start, so hopefully he'll make it. And it was a pleasure to work with. A breath of fresh air. That's Jacob. Jacob.
Also a very nice student.
Well, that. A lot of our guys have unique stories. This guy is another guy that has a very unique story. He tried out for JV last year, and unfortunately, he wasn't ready to make the team. Most people in that situation would maybe not want to play basketball anymore. He didn't allow that to be his story. It just made him work harder. He came back this year, and he earned his spot on the team. He continued to get better and better as the season went on. I feel like he has a bright future as well, as long as he continues to play basketball. And I just thank him for all the hard work. Another guy that didn't miss any practices except for when he was sick, and that goes a long way. And I thank you for everything. Ranbeer Singh. Sing. My bad, Coach Ranbeer. I wasn't supposed to call you Ranbeer. My bad. Sing. Congratulations. This next guy is also new to the program. What can I say about him? He was someone that we had to figure out how to get the most out of him and get that fire out of him. And we ended up learning that all we had to do was threaten him with running. So I learned that every drill that we did, we had to add the stipulation that the loser runs. And with that stipulation, this guy he gave his all because he did not want to run, and then he made sure his teammates knew that he didn't have to run because he won. Another guy that has limitless potential, nice size, good fundamentals. I just challenge him to continue to play basketball, and the sky's the limit. That's Jeremy Noel.
Yes, sir, KR.
KO to G.
Proud of you, sir.
KO to G right there.
Let me up there. You're just freezing.
How many times have we fought?
This next guy has an interesting story. All our guys have interesting stories, but this story is interesting because this guy is not the normal. He's an 11th grader. He tried out for varsity. Unfortunately, he didn't make the varsity team, but he caught my eye with his work ethic, his tenacity, and I felt like there was some potential that was still left in him to be able to pull out of him. So I offered him the chance to come out and try out for the JV team. He didn't have to do that. How many kids would when they're juniors decide to go back and play JV? But he did, and he had a huge impact on the team. I think his skills have improved tremendously. He even was able to, by the end of the season, practice with the varsity and be there as a part of the varsity team for the sectional game. And that just shows what perseverance and hard work can do. Any situation I asked him to carry out, or any situation I put him in, he always had a response. He had a response, right? But he did it. So that's what matters, is that he did it. And we kind of had our back and forth over the direction of the Knicks. We're both diehard Knicks fans, to the point where the guys at practice used to get mad because we would be caught up talking about the Knicks and they wanted to keep shooting. So we had to get reeled back in a few times, but he definitely made an impression on the program. And I'm happy to see, where he goes next year. That's Nathan Provincial.
Yes, sir, Big Nate.
This guy is a second-year JV player. The first year, it wasn't a lot like Sachs. It wasn't the offensive ability that drew me to him. It was more so his perseverance and his dedication to being at practice every day, trying whatever drill we put in front of him. He attacked it with no type of intimidation, and that really just stuck out to me. He keeps working. The past years, I think he's missed one practice in 2 years, and I think that's awesome. I can see how much his skill set has grown, how much his confidence has grown, playing basketball and being on the team. He has a whole new look to him. Last season, when we came back for the dinner, he had a new look, and this year he has a new look again. I think in many ways he was the heart and soul of the team, and that's Joel Sequa. This next young man is another player that's returning to the program. He's come so far. Last year, he was very raw with his skills. I like to highlight that he and I are the only left-handed people in the program. And seeing him get the ball going up the left side is something to see. I've been working on getting him to go up the middle. I also want to commend him because last year, we weren't really able to communicate. He had just, came over and his English wasn't, the strongest, and the amount that he's improved in a year, it's amazing, to the point where now he's translating for other kids on the team. And I think that that's something that should really be highlighted because it took a lot of hard work to do that. I don't think that that's something that just happens. You have to put in the work. I hear he's a great baseball player, and I'm excited to see that firsthand. Another person that was moved up to the varsity and got to get his feet wet with that, and if he chooses to play basketball, he could be really good as well. That's Jordani Tavares. This next young man, his first year in the program as well. I think the thing that speaks most about him is that even though it's his first year in the program, his teammates voted him captain. And I think that's a major accomplishment to just be fresh into the program and have that earn that respect of your teammates to be voted captain. He's new. This was his first year playing basketball organized. He was our leading scorer on the team, probably our leading rebounder, probably the focal point of our offense. Just the things that he does speak smiles. I could remember one time in practice, someone else making a mistake and the team having to run for disciplinary reasons, and then he just got up and ran along with the person that had to run for disciplinary reasons, and that shows leadership. And I tell him that he could be as good as he wants to be. He just has to put the work in. There's no doubt in my mind that he will put that work in because, like Alec, he's also a gym rat, spends a lot of time at LA Fitness. And I just want to thank him for all the work that he put in this year, and that's Angel Mata. This next young man has a soft spot, another soft spot in my heart. We talked about George being the program enforcer, but George is moving on now, right? So naturally, we need another enforcer. I think this young man is going to be the program enforcer moving forward. Another interesting fact about him is, so the team voted 2 captains, right? But I felt with the work, the hard work, the responsibility, the level of maturity, the leadership that this guy put forward, that he deserved to be a captain as well. So I made him a captain along with the 2 gentlemen that the team voted for. I think the world of him. He's tough as nails. Can do anything that he wants to do in this world as long as he puts his mind to it. And that's Scotty Sullivan. Last but certainly not least, our other captain on the team. This gentleman caught my eye, this young man, I should say, caught my eye during tryouts last season. This is the second year on the team. Tryouts last season. I think still to this day, he's the only player that has approached me after practice and asked me what he needed to work on to get better. That went miles. That just went miles with me. That showed me that he actually cared. It was his first year playing basketball, and just the transformation that he's made is so impressive to see. Another player, a lot of times I have to remind him of how far he's come because he's kind of hard on himself, but I think that he's also going to be a pillar of the varsity program going forward. There's characteristics you just can't teach, and you need those type of players to be part of your team, like Mr. Hens and I discussed. Another guy that I feel is invaluable to the program, great kid, think the world of him, Sean Cherian.
Yeah, we're not really knowing. You can't do
Okay, guys, we're nearing the end here, and I just one of the things that I did want to share with you guys, okay, is that throughout the year, especially with the varsity team, Ernie had a lot of kids on the JV, but on the varsity team, you know, we had a couple of baseball players that decided that they didn't want to come out anymore. Then we were down to like 11 kids or 10 kids, and then I had Brandon went down, and then we had another situation, and it was hard to practice. And this young man right here, my son-in-law, Greg, he's my son-in-law, he would come to practice, okay? And the guys know that Greg made a big difference at practice, okay? He would go after Alec, he would go after Guillermo, he would go after Mike. Okay, if it wasn't because of Greg, I mean, the practices were gonna be hard, okay? And like Ernie said, it's not easy coaching. You know, when you're being kicked out of practices and you're being told that there's gonna be another game, or there's a cheerleading competition, or there's a showcase, or there's a wrestling match, and then, you know, we thought that gym was supposed to be for the program. It turns out that gym is really for the whole community to touch. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But I wish I would have been told in advance. So I want to thank Greg for a wonderful season. He did a great job this year of getting the gear, okay? And if you haven't gotten a t-shirt from him, you guys make sure you get a t-shirt because you brought some extra, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to thank, he did a nice, with the gear this year, we got the Nike stuff, we got also, and of course, how can I not thank Mr. and Mrs. Larizza, okay? Mr. and Mrs. Larizza, who, you know, they, year in and year out, they sponsor the team. Okay, they have the tournament in their name, and you know, Mr. Larissa, you know, he loves basketball, and Nella, his wife, is the one that provides the varsity teams, boys and girls, with the sneakers year in and year out. So even though they're not here today, you know, you guys know that the Larissa family is in my heart. So thank you, and of course Ernie. You know, I don't know what to say at this point. Ernie is come along nicely. I think he's ready for, you know, bigger and better things. Maybe you know, next year when, you know, this year this is something that's been weighing on my heart. But I want to tell you guys right now that this will be my last year. Okay. Next month I turn 62. Okay. I'll be officially a senior citizen. Okay. These two guys behind me, Ernie and Greg, they privately, I've shared with them that I was not going to come back. The athletic director knows I'm not going to come back. I hope that one of them comes back and takes over the program. That's what I would love to see. It depends, because it has a lot to do with, you know, they're not educators, they're business people. And it's hard to, you know, coaching high school sports, whether it's baseball or football or basketball, track and field, whatever it is, it's not easy, okay? Especially if you're not in the schools. So I've been privileged and I've been honored to be your coach, not only the varsity, but also you know, I know that the JV admires me as well. And 25 years, man, I can't, you know, 25, I gave it all I could, okay? And I gave 25 years, okay? I coached, I started in Port Chester, I went to Blind Brook, and I came back to Port Chester. And when I came back, I asked Mr. Ryan to give me 5 years. And, you know, this program, as many of you know, those of you that have been in the community, know that the varsity team, before I got there, won very few games. And, you know, my first year, we had 3 guys that was 6'4" and 6'3", and I thought we were gonna go long place. And we were like 3-4, 3-5, and then my best player got injured, and we didn't win a game the rest of the season. That's the kind of impact that one player can make, okay, on a team. The following year, we won 5 or 6 games, whatever, and we went to the sectionals. We scared Clarkstown North. We almost beat them. The following year was COVID, and then last year came another COVID year. You guys, I really think about this all the time. You guys have been living through a period of time in our lifetime where it's been difficult to be a scholar athlete, okay? And I understand that. And this year, you know, with the record that we had, even Mike would agree with me. Even when we lost, we were competitive. Forget about the Mamaroneck game, okay? I don't want to, but every other game we were like competitive. You know, kids. You know, you guys don't know this, but maybe some of you do. But prior to getting here, it was very common for Port Chester teams to get beat by 40, 50 points in a game. Okay, this group right here made it competitive, and I'll tell you why they made it competitive. Obviously, we had Guillermo, but Ernie, okay, with the development of the JV team, you guys knew how to play basketball, okay? And, you know, I want to thank you. I just want to let you guys know publicly, because you guys, nobody knows except you guys, okay? And you're the only people that I'm concerned about in terms of basketball. Okay, and I didn't want the JV kids in the hallway asking me, Coach, are you going to be the coach next year? Are you going to be the coach? So now you know I'm not going to be the coach next year. Okay, so thank you so much. And at this time, I want to turn the mic to Greg, because I know he's dying to say a few words. Okay, and thank you.
Well, the irony is I used to be in front of the microphone a lot. So I might not have told any of you this. Parents, I used to get in front of the mic. I write music and stuff like that. But if you notice, over the last 4 years, I never said anything, because it's weird. Like I'm kind of shy, but I'm not. But so first, I wanted to say and acknowledge Coach Martinez just dropped a big bomb on all of us. But we want to thank you for your hard work, dedication. Everybody knows you travel a very long ways to get to and from work, and your commitment is not unnoticed. So I wanted to give a round of applause. So when Coach Martinez tapped me on the shoulder and gave me the opportunity to coach with him, I immediately thought of Coach Washington, who's my best friend and like my brother. And I said, Coach, I would love to. I want to be a part, but I don't know. If I commit to something, I have to do it 110%. Coach Washington at the time was able to do so, but I was able to maintain and be a part of this team. And the hard part for me was trying to figure out what am I gonna do? As in, I don't see myself as just like picking up after you guys and telling you guys what to do. The X's and O's were coming from these basketball brains. What am I gonna do? So my job, I felt like, and I hope I did a good job, was trying to be a motivator and a positive influence to all of you. Keeping your mind sharp and keeping you guys focused on what really matters. Because the truth is, starting from 9th grade with Alec and Mikey and Georgie, we didn't win, right? We didn't win games. We might have won one game, maybe. But it says a lot about each and every one of you in this room that come back, right? There's a lot of people that take a hit like that and they don't come back from it, right? So I tell you this all the time. In games, in practices, like Coach said, I'm lacing up my shoes and I'm gonna get in your face and I'm gonna give you a little bit of energy and I'm gonna make your job difficult so that when you get on the court, you're prepared for it, right? That's life. So that's what we try to really do for you guys as coaches. The X's and O's is great, winning is amazing, everybody wants to be a winner, but the real winner is all of you guys. You guys are winners regardless of what the win and loss column says. Every day you show up, every day you give it your best, and every day you went after it and made each other better, and we as coaches couldn't be more proud of every single one of you guys in this room. Thank the parents for doing a great job in making sure that these gentlemen behave and carry themselves this way, all right? So if there's anything I could do for you guys, when the season ends, you guys have my phone number, Sports U. We have that type of relationship. I love each and every one of you. I don't want to keep everybody here much longer than we are. I could say something about all of you guys. But the love is real. If you need anything, I'm here. And I'm very much proud of it. And it was an honor to be your coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, at this time, we'd like the JV to stand up because we're going to give some little baggies that Mrs. Hins put together. Okay, so Mrs. Hins, did you want to do this? Did you want to? Okay. So JV, line up over here, please.
Put them together.
No. Poor Miss Hins, she spent hours putting this together. Trust me, this is not easy. Okay. Yeah, Varsity, could you also, behind Waikiki Varsity, get into alphabetical order there, guys, so you guys can get yours?
Oh, we'll be here all night.
Yeah.
We'll get a line, guys. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one to get them. So Bala goes last. El último es Sabana.
Pleasure, man. Hey, you better be working. Yeah. You got. Yeah, but reach out so I don't have it. I did text you. You texted me.
For the varsity, please don't lose this bag because it's got your little pins, varsity pins and everything. It's really nice. Okay.
He's working.
Do we have the letters too? Okay. Yeah. And Mrs. Hins will give out the varsity letters right after this.
You got two?
Varsity, you can come to me.
Both of these,
Forehand. Backhand. And Tunya.
You know, I've been throwing a Pineda, Zavala, I'm Jack this freshman year. You got it.
Okay, guys, we want to end the night with a special tribute to the team. Mr. Pineda has put together a little video that we're going to play on YouTube. Okay, guys, we want to watch the video. Okay, and then we'll be, you know, we'll get our letters.
Smile. Okay, that concludes the award ceremony. We're done, right? Okay.